Welcome back to another episode of Mind, Your Body, and Soul. We are in season 4, and as you can see by our surroundings, we getting a little fancy out here. So be jealous just a little bit, but not too much, because remember, collaboration over competition any day. I am Joseph Ward. He is Mathias Sweet, and we will be introducing our guest in a second. But remember that this is Mind, Your Body, and Soul. This is the healthiest podcast you have ever heard. And Mind, Your Body, and Soul is an educational podcast that focuses on all things health related to help our listeners learn more about the various health topics and information they may not have access to. We seek to inform, empower, uplift, and mobilize our listeners to become the healthiest versions of themselves. And remember, we are available weekly. We try to do it on Wednesdays, but life and COVID be happening. So remember, you can catch us weekly, especially on our website at www.nmcpodcast.com. as well as our parental site at www.neighborhoodmedicalcenter.org, especially on our YouTube channel, this channel. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Make sure you like this video, you comment, and you share. We're also available on Anchor, Breaker, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. So, yes. So we have with us a new addition to the Big Ben Cares family and a new addition to the HIV/AIDS prevention family here in Tallahassee. We will be working with her upcoming, because you're going to see us again. We're going to be doing a whole lot more stuff, guys, because the 2022 AIDS Walk is coming up. But we're here to talk about Artopia. So we have Serene Smallwood here from Big Ben Care to talk about Artopia. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
So before we get into Artopia, how are you enjoying your time at Big Ben Care so far?
Oh boy, I gotta say, just top down, it's probably the best job I've ever had. Just fulfilling in a lot of fronts. Obviously, the cliche, gotta love what you do.
Yeah.
But I think it's really great to work for somewhere that is not profit driven, that is not corporate, and is certainly at a local level on the ground, because that's always what I felt passionate about. I think that it's good we have these like national charities and causes, big things, Red Cross and all that, but like down on the ground, finding an agency that's super local, that, you see the people that come in every day, our clients and stuff, and know what we're doing and affecting, and see those faces. Like that's really how the most activism, progress, and help gets afforded to the community.
Well, welcome to the family. And of course, we will do everything in our power to support you in everything you got going on, especially any collaborations you want to do. Call, email, because that's just what we like to do. And especially, I like your vibe, your energy, and your spirit, everything already. So I know we're going to have a good time working with you.
That's right.
Yes.
We're here to help. So we in it for the reasons, you know what I'm saying? We on the ground, we running. So that's what we love to do, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to serve the community. So
We appreciate that. Yeah, I love our partners, Neighborhood Bond, TMH, everyone in the community. I've been expanding the network, kind of opening my mind to what else there is happening on the ground.
Yes.
And the more I learn of y'all, the more we have allies in our corner. That's just better for everyone else.
Right.
that's it.
So there's a lot of art in the background, and coming up this month is June 25th. June 25th at the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center will be the 2022 Artopia. Could you tell us a bit about Artopia, some background information, but just overall, what is Artopia?
So we're going into our 24th year, so certainly it's not the first year it's happening. But Artopia, about as old as I am, is the long-lived tradition of integrating the appreciation for the arts and engaging the, art purchasing, art creating community, and bridging that into a way to charitably donate to the causes of Big Ben Cares, which is, promoting community wellness for all with access to sexual health awareness, et cetera, and HIV/AIDS prevention and maintenance. So it's kind of bridging that to that. So Artopia is a charity art auction fundraiser. And like I said, this year it is at the Civic Center. And it's basically, we get like 400 or so art pieces that are accrued from generous donors that have their own art that they keep, that want to just donate art, and also from really important members of the artistic community. So, painters, sculptors, we accept every medium. And we have this network of people that all sort of know each other. You know, they all go to the same events like Chain of Parks, Lemoyne, and all that stuff together. But this is really the one time of the year where everyone makes a point to give from the heart charitably and donate a work or two or maybe three to our charity art auction. So then the auction itself on the night of is just sort of like we have this big banquet set up, and then the art's all around the perimeter of the big exhibition hall. And so we have the silent auction, so people go around to the different galleries and they can just, you know, write your whatever. And then towards the end of the night, we have the live auction, which is really exciting. We have an auctioneer from an actual like auctioneer service come out, and he donates his time and services. And we auction the live auction pieces, which is a selection of about 15 of the top, like evaluated by our art jury, which also includes the best in show and second and third place, because it is a juried art event as well. And so that live auction includes those top pieces, and that's the more like, oh, I'll bid, you know, $100, $200, and then it's just that sort of thing. So it's very exciting. We have like the live stage and everything. We have our MCs are people from the community as well, like Casanova Nurse with WTXL, you know, that sort of thing. We have Mackenzie Burley with Tallahassee Magazine as well. It's going to be co-MCing this year. So it's great. It's a great night. Food, drink, and there's going to be a whole slew of fabulous pieces, which we are already sitting among.
Right. Because I'm looking around the room and I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to see what I'm going to bid on. Because it's like, ooh, I could use this. Right. So, I mean, they got some really good art pieces, and I suggest everybody come out. It's a good time. We go every year. I mean, we normally go as a team, so just come on out and enjoy. If you've never been, it's something to do. Right. What do we have to do on a Saturday night?
Right. Mm-hmm. So, this is your first time working with Artopia. So have you ever had a chance to attend Artopia?
I have never attended it. It's actually my first time knowing it existed, was working here,
because
I wouldn't say I'm exactly tuned into the fine art community
right.
locally, you know, to have that connection. But every like person I've subsequently met, so it's like being introduced to Artopia, it's been more people that I've realized like, wow, there's just this like really current underbelly, you know. Right.
But I say that because I commend you, because you just gave a whole outline, a real outline of what Artopia is, because you've done your homework. So that's an indication, like for us, for people who will be working with you in the community, we know we don't have to worry about you not coming to whatever outreach event or whatever we're doing. You're gonna come knowledgeable, you're gonna do your homework. So that's a great sign right there. So kudos to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, it's it's not my first rodeo with event management. That's the background I come from. So but it is my first Artopia, but it's certainly not the first event I've run. And so I've handled events in this sort of capacity, just nothing along the fine art sphere. So that's what's new to me. And so meeting all these people, shaking hands, our board member, Dan Taylor, is a really great contact to have for this event, especially because he tends to know everybody. And it's just, you know, networking, shaking hands. I want to meet people. I want them to see my face as well, to know that when I'm taking their precious works of art that they've poured their heart into, that they know who I am and can call me at the dial of a button.
Right. So with all that, just learn, how does somebody get to come to Artopia? Is there a registration process? Is there a fee? Anything like that that's associated with Artopia? And like, what's the actual date, time, and everything?
So logistically, yes. We have a website. I'm going to post that front and center there, bigbencares.org/Artopia. You can Google Artopia and we're the first result. It's not that competitive of a title. You can Google it. That's always what I say to people when I run events. Like, maybe you have a URL is confusing. Just Google Artopia. We're the first result. That page has everything you need to know. Even if you're a person in the community that wants to volunteer with us, like for Artopia, because we're looking for volunteers, all of that's on there. That's where our art submission forms would be. That's where our sponsorship information would be if you want to be really generous. That's where our online RSVP form is, as you mentioned. So we're asking if you want to expedite the line, you want to help us out a little, give us the information ahead of time, go on to that website, fill out the RSVP form. It's an easy Google form. It's just like name, phone number, you know, your email, and stuff that we would normally get from you at check-in, or that you would normally put in at a checkout on any website when you buy stuff. So it's just the standard, and that would really help us to get everyone through the line really quick. And then you can get quicker on to looking at the art. The night of, we have open parking at the Civic Center. So the normal parking area, we're not going to charge for parking, none of that. And general admission is free. So this year it is free. We're returning to what I'm told was the format in 2019. 2021 was COVID stuff, so we had to limit capacity and tickets cost money because we can only have 4 people at a table, yada yada. 2020 was virtual, but 2019 was the actual last proper in person. Tickets didn't cost anything, that so on. So you're gonna get RSVP, then you're gonna show up at the event. Now we start at 6:30 for our general admission. So 6:30 p.m. is the time to show up. So you get there, you go in the main door, down the escalator. So sign in, check in real quick, give them your name. They'll be like, okay, we have your info already if you RSVP'd online. And then you will get your little bidder sheet, which is the catalog. It doubles. So on the back, you got your big number written there. And it'd be like, I'm 300. So you have your booklet for the whole night, 300, go around and bid. And then that's also your number for the live auction if you want to get spicy and start spending big bucks.
Right.
So.
Right. Now, so I've attended about 3 or 4 Artopias. I enjoy going. I enjoy the food. I like eating. So I enjoy the food, but I also enjoy the art and just the mingling. Like you said, being able to mingle with people, but getting into the fine art community. One thing that this podcast does, it allows us access to different communities and different people. So I'm learning more about the fine art community. But if you are someone out there who's into art, you're into fine art, so you want to do something different, on the 25th, come out. Artopia will be a great place. You're going to see my face, you're going to see Mathias, you're going to see Serene. We're going to be there. You're going to meet people that you may not have had an opportunity to meet, and you may see some people that you already know. But you're going to be in an environment, just tell you from my experience, being able to see the different types of art. You will be surprised of the talent that we have in Tallahassee as far as these artists. And we're going to make sure that some of these paintings and some of the pieces of art you get to see for the special people. But like our Miss Steeple, she submitted a piece for this. And so she was very excited about it. We were talking about it a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I submitted my art and somebody likes it. But just seeing that
she submits every year, and she actually sold a couple of pieces last year.
Right.
That went to it. So it's real exciting seeing that.
So just to make sure people understand, what do they need to do to submit a piece? What's the deadline of submitting a piece?
Well, we're technically sort of at that point.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So yes, not that you got too late to the punch. Technically, yeah, we are trying to taper that off at this point, just because we're sort of we had set it as the 10th, and we're trying to stick to that as much. If people had already kind of tucked with us, arranged that they needed to get it, I'm bringing it in, but Monday or something like that. We're still, we're working with people because we don't want to turn down, generous donations and stuff. But actually, it's because this Wednesday, so 2 days from now, is actually going to be the art jurying.
Okay.
So we take every piece that's in here and all throughout the building, and we fan them out single file around the whole building in this big walkway. And then our art jury, which this year is going to be Amanda Thompson, Brenda Plumapati, and Kia Atkinson, who was last year's cover artist, are going to be the art jurors. So they're going to be going around the building, and then they look at everything that's fanned out single file and deciding the best in show and the top 2 and 3. And then we'll be going through the live auction, of course, getting those 15 select pieces together. But to do that, also we have to get the catalogs printed and all that. So that's why we kind of set our deadline.
Yes.
But we're hitting a good point on that.
We understand that. But guess what? You got all the time in the world for next year. It comes around every year, same time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So get ready. If you don't have a piece now, go ahead and start working on it for next year.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But attend Artopia this year, because if you don't, you're gonna miss out. And we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about it so joyfully. You're gonna miss out. So, but you mentioned the artist Kia Atkinson. I'm familiar with her and her work. She's an amazing artist. So I'm sure the judging will be it's going to be something that takes time, but it's going to be something that's fun and rewarding. And Sam since.
Yeah, we get some little refreshments and stuff going for them. You know, we invite the board of directors in to look at it. It is sort of a back end process, so it's not like it's a public walkthrough. But yeah, I'm excited to be working with them as well because I of course haven't met them in person.
Right.
Amanda Thompson has been helping out with the event some, which is great, and that making me more confident of being able to know the exact flow of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But Brenda and Kia, of course, are artists, and they both have already actually submitted for this year as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a couple pieces in, which we always joke it's like the conflict of interest, you being the juror. No, but they are very lovely pieces, and I anticipate them being at, you know, they're gonna go. So you make sure if you want to grab a glance at it, and if you have a fancy for one of those really premier pieces by our art jurors themselves, that you really come by and look, because she's got this gorgeous, it looks like a quartz almost. It's like it's 3-dimensional. There's like she's affixed like crystals to it. It's
I know
gorgeous.
exactly what you're talking. It is. I've seen it. But just her style and all that, I really enjoy. So that's another treat. So are you allowed to say the names of some of the artists that you know who have submitted work?
Yeah, as far as I can remember off the top of my head. And they submit things in writing a lot, so I also want to be sensitive and not mispronounce too much. But I know that I was actually really excited because we had a Scott Gerasi, I believe is his name, a very talented, awesome artist that apparently, you know, who knew Amanda Thompson and knows all of our artists, but he had never participated in Artopia before. And finally, I guess it was this year, I'd gotten a list together of people that weren't on our list already, you know, and I gave a bunch of people a call, and a few of them, you know, responded with interest, and he was one of them. He's just like, I don't know why I never participated before, but you know, by God, I'll do it this year. So that's great. We love to see that, especially. And then we have also promising an artist named Isabel Al-Sharif, who I know it's not in the frame right now, but there's a gold painting right behind you there. That's a big piece that's gonna, I think, probably be a contender for live auction.
Yes.
Because Big tends to do better, but it's also very worth it too. It's gorgeous, and she's a new artist and heard about us through the 621 Gallery at Railroad Square. So again, it's really important to be networking out with new people as well to preserve the future of Artopia. As well as we have some work by our cover artist, Elizabeth George. She is a photographer, and I'll tell you that this year is the first year that we have actually featured a photographer as a cover artist. So as opposed to any like painted work on canvas. So Elizabeth George, this is one of hers as well in front of us here. So a lot of nature stuff. So you see that on all of our programming, all of our materials, all on our website, everything that's printed. We have those lily pads that's her cover art. So we are excited for her as well. We have Matt McCarran. We have Michael Brennan. Michael Brennan does these big pieces with the zebras. Yes. And we have some others, Carly Brady, Pam Doffick, Barbara Simis. There's a great variety of work. I'm trying to look around. Starlene DeBoard, who won Best in Show. She's submitting again this year. And yeah, there's a whole group. I know that we've gotten a lot in. And I'm very excited also for Robert Peavy's. Robert's jewelry and design. He is a loyal art donor with us. He has submitted his piece for this year, and I will tell you, it is kept very safe. Put away, because Robert specializes with jewelry pieces for Artopia, and this one we're looking at is quite a beauty. It is a gorgeous, I would say, veined brown opal with lined around the edge with some green diamonds, and it is absolutely stunning. That'll be certainly a winner, I know. That is a gorgeous piece. We have Todd Such, we have Trip Farrell, and I'm just trying to think of any of our other like people we've had in the live auction before that have submitted again. Jake Kiker. So I mean, those are many of the ones that are coming to me. I'll probably think of a whole list of slew on top of my head, but we have a good variety and a lot of people that are plugged in. So we've been very happy to meet them as well. Oh yeah, Tim Copeland, Timothy Moore.
So you know all.
So you know all of them. See, I like this. First year they've been doing this, naming people off, naming past people, talking about the pieces. When I tell you, when you look around this room and look around the building, you see all this amazing artwork. Like, I mean, it's amazing. And where else can you go to get artwork, jewelry, sculptures, things like that, and actually support a good cause? Because you're supporting a local business. And that's what it's about as well. As we go into 2023 and 2020, we're in 2022 now, we're approaching 2023, we need to support more of the local stuff because now it's getting, times are getting rough. I'm just going to be real. Times are getting rough and we need the support from the community. So this is a great way to support a local cause. We're supporting HIV as well as supporting a local business here that provides HIV care in the community. So come on out, enjoy, because trust me, I'm so ready to look at some more of this art.
Yes. Now, you mentioned the cover artist. Now, so just for clarity, for those watching, the cover artist is the person who's on the cover of the program for Artopia.
They're on the tickets. They're on the sign that goes up in front of the Civic Center. They're on the website banners. They're on all of our social media posts. They're on our giant, large scrim banner that we get printed that hangs above the doorway when you come in.
Right.
They are literally on everything.
So, and I'm asking because I have like 4 canvases at home and some paint and some brushes. So I might want to become the cover artist next year. So how does one become a cover artist?
So, 1, you want to glue to our social media. 2, you want to probably pop in on our website every so often, because right about the beginning of the year, we do a blanket call for artists for the cover art. It's not something, if you're plugged in with us in any of those ways, you'll hear about it. We put it all through in our newsletter. We have a newsletter, you can always choose to sign up through on our website. That sends it out as well. And also, we do a little bit of communicate with local arts things like COCA. Okay. So the culture, the Council of Culture Arts. So they also put Artopia's Call for Artists in. They have a Call for Artists like thing. I guess a classifieds, a version of classifieds. Right. So there's that goes out usually like January, very early on, because we go through that process to decide our theming and everything off very quickly. Now we really don't do anything. It's an FAQ. We don't get this question a lot, but there's not really a year-to-year theme for Artopia.
That was my next question. I was like, it's a theme?
Mm-hmm. I was going to say it's whatever we decide is the cover art. That's going to be the visual motif that we go through for everything else. Artopia itself, our logo just stays black, white, red. Like that's the basics. So we keep it very easy and simple. And I'll tell you though, a good plus to life hack for if you want to try and be the cover artist, make sure that your piece is not too chaotic with the saturation differences, because the board of directors tend to go for a piece that's easiest to put our logo on top of. So if you find our logo, or you can even ask me and I can send it to you, what piece of yours may look good with our logo on it. That's what they're going to judge it by. Not just, this is a pretty piece. Because maybe you put a zebra under the logo. It's very hard to put black or white over a zebra. Right. So that's kind of the little hack on how they like to choose things as well. So.
Okay.
Get my stick figures together.
That's right. Don't leave that pain to you, okay? Because I'm not the artistically inclined. Now, I can work magics on the computer, but painting and stuff, that's not me.
I'm just playing. But what I do love, though, the collaboration between you guys, Coca, 621 Gallery, because I'm more familiar with 621 Gallery, especially. Shout out to Josh Johnson and all the great work he's doing. Great guy. I'm learning more about Coca, learning more about that, but loving the collaboration between the 3 entities. So Big Ben Cares has been doing Artopia for 24 years. We have this grand event. Everybody knows we're doing this event every year. We have these 2 art entities that are in the city connecting. Like, this is what we're supposed to do, working together, connecting, using our resources to bring things to Tallahassee. This is one city where, especially if you're a young professional, one of the main complaints is there's nothing to do.
It's a lot to do.
Right. So if you know where to find the events like Artopia, that's one of the reasons why we want to make sure that we use our resources to help get more information out and let more people know. If you didn't know about Artopia, but now you know. All right. So, right. So with that being said, what could you say your website again, your and Big Ben Cares Instagram, and the best way for people online to learn more about Artopia?
Yeah, so we are just at Big Ben Cares for most of the social media stuff, right? And so, Facebook, just look up Big Ben Cares, you'll see our red ribbon. Instagram at Big Ben Cares, Twitter at Big Ben Cares, and our website again is bigbencares.org. Not .gov, not .net, not .web,
right.
not .canada. We are .org, and like I said, very easily accessible by Google as well. Google Big Ben Cares, you can find it just as easy.
And just to reiterate one more time, the date and time and location of Artopia.
Artopia is going to be this month, Saturday, June 25th at the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center, and it will be starting at 6:30 p.m. sharp. Do not miss it. Be there, be square.
Right, because you're going to miss out on all the
You miss
snacks
a good time. Good food, good art, good company.
Yep.
Get to mix and mingle.
Yeah.
Find out where this local talent came from. It's a lot of stuff to do in the art community. More and more we do, we find out more and more places to do with the art. Like we did plays, we went to different things. So it's a lot of stuff here that people think we don't have because we're such a small city. But it's a lot right here if you just open your eyes and look.
Yep. So last thing, somebody's going to see this interview and say, Serene knows what she's talking about. You know your stuff, but thorough. No, you're definitely thorough, and we have to give our hat off to that. You're one of the most thorough guests that we've ever had, and for our first time having to interact face to face, and for you to not have actually gone to Artopia, but you know everything about Artopia, our hat goes off to you. So somebody see this, Oprah or whoever, Steve Jobs not around, but Elon Musk or whoever. Somebody see this interview, what's the best way for someone to contact you?
If you need to contact me for any reason, you can find me at ssmallwood, so S for Serene, Smallwood, like it sounds, ssmallwood at bigbencares.org. Remember, don't forget the S at the end of Big Ben Cares.
Right.
So lots of S's. ssmallwood at bigbencares.org. And certainly I'm the one who runs the social media for the organization. Okay. So if you message anything, you're like, hey, Serene, I'm going to see it because I'm the one that puts up everything on Twitter, the Facebook, and the Instagram, on our LinkedIn. Like I run and manage all of that. So that's still me as well. Yeah. And you can always feel free to swing by the office too. If you want to shake a friendly hand, grab a condom or two, and learn a little bit about how to get tested because we're also pushing that as well. Big Ben Cares says it is summer, get tested. Our young folk out there need to really stay protected. So we are always available at any time during business hours to also help with those situations.
Yep. Okay. And she said it best.
Hey,
so we will see you guys next time. This is Mind Your Body and Soul. I'm Joseph Ward, Mathias Sweet, Serene Smallwood. The reason we are here. And remember, Mind Your Body and Soul is a healthy podcast that focuses on all things health related. And we do this to help our listeners learn more about various topics and information they may not have access to. We seek to inform, empower, uplift, and mobilize our listeners to become the healthiest versions of themselves. Remember, www.nmcpodcast.com is the website, our parental website, www.neighborhoodmedicalcenter.org. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Subscribe, comment, like, and share. That helps the algorithm. That helps more people see these videos and the plethora of interviews that we have. But we're also available on Anchor, Breaker, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Spotify, and Google Podcasts for our audio-only platform. So we love you all. We see y'all next time. Peace out.